I recently thought about putting a smart button in my kitchen to give my family quick control over the robot vacuum. But then I zoomed out and took stock of the smart button situation in there and realised it had gotten a bit out of hand. There are no less than 4 smart buttons in that room alone, each with multiple actions defined, dotted all around the room. It's no wonder my wife can't remember where they all are and what they all do. So today I'm going to tidy up this situation with this, the Sonoff SNZB-01M Smart Scene Button, which Sonoff have kindly sent me for review. And once that's done, I'm also going to show you how this button can solve another common smart home problem. Hi, I'm James, and I've been building out my smart home for years, with products from just about every manufacturer out there, figuring out what works and what doesn't. So first things first, let's get the button out of Sonoff's minimal packaging and get it paired with Home Assistant. It runs off of a CR2477 battery, which should be good for about 2 years under normal use. It has 4 buttons, each with 4 available actions, depending on what mode it's in, meaning you can perform up to 16 unique actions, which should be plenty to replace all the buttons in my kitchen. So all we have to do now is enable pairing mode in ZigBee to MQTT and pull out the battery tab, and it should connect right away. And we can now go into the Exposes tab and see that it shows up as a button with various actions from which we can trigger anything we like. Always a good idea, especially with ZigBee to MQTT, to go through and trigger all the button presses here so that they all register as available in Home Assistant. Now, let's tweak my existing automations. You may be surprised to learn that there was some method to the madness in my kitchen. Each button had a kind of theme of things that it did. One of them controlled the cooking stuff, like my hob, oven, and cooker hood. The other controlled media playback on the HomePod. Play, pause, start the appropriate music for the time of day. And a double press also called our kids down for food, using lights and announcements in their bedroom. And the other one controlled some of the window devices like the skylight motor and the curtain. The last one I'm actually going to leave alone as it needs to stay where it is. This one is the Code Purple button I made a video on a while ago. Go check that out at the top of the screen somewhere. But this button is basically always on hand. In case the kids choke or something, they can press that to get our attention if they can't speak. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is copy the YAML from the existing automations, as this allows me to copy all the actions at once, and build up a new automation with all of the different button presses in at once. Now all I've got to do is decide where it's going to go. And last but not least, I'm planning to pop some stickers on each button to remind everyone what each button does, when I find the ones from the previous scene controller that I got. Sadly, Sonoff didn't appear to include any in the box. I think having a few common icon stickers in there would have been a nice touch. For now, I've taken a little magnetic whiteboard that we had laying around and written out all of the presses that I've configured and stuck it to the cooker hood, so everyone has a convenient reference for what all of these actions can do. And as a bonus, I've got this forced button available to add controls for our robot vacuum, which is what I originally wanted to do. And that's it. We now have a single scene control button in place of the 3 separate buttons we had before, and a new one for quick vacuum control, which means that it's time to look at the other common smart home problem. What happens if your automation platform or hub is offline for some reason? This button once again comes to the rescue with a feature called Touch Link. This allows ZigBee devices to bind together directly to control one another with no automations in between. So for example, if you have a smart bulb, which is permanently powered like I do, you can directly bind this button to the bulb and give you control over it even when Home Assistant or your Sonoff hub is offline. And handily, this functionality is supported by a couple of the most popular brands, including IKEA devices and Philips bulbs. And you can even group them together, just try and stick to one device type per group. To set up TouchLink, you simply ensure that the button is not connected to another gateway. Then you power on the device that you wish to control only, to avoid pairing it to the wrong one. And then you bring the remote within 10 centimeters of the device and press and hold the 1 button until the light stays on solid for 3 seconds. Once you've done that, button 1 toggles the light, buttons 2 and 3 control the brightness, and button 4 cycles through the scenes if there are any on the bulb or device itself. This is a seriously useful feature, especially for people who like to mess around with their Home Assistant setup a lot and end up with more downtime than they should. I think I may have to get a few more of these as backups for the rooms where I am using ZigBee bulbs. Anyway, if you'd like to pick one of these up, the link will as always be on my website, homeiswherethesmartis.uk, tagged to this video on the homepage, or search for SNZB-01M. Otherwise, please consider supporting the channel in any way that you can using the links at the bottom of the page. If you made it this far, perhaps you'd like to check out the video that's on the screen, which YouTube thinks you will also like. And if not, thanks for watching, and remember, home is where the smart is.